or whatever you want to call it. And we came here, and then I hopped on back with him. We all just rode back.
What are you looking forward to today?
Some air conditioner after this.
It's very hot. We just felt a little bit of a breeze. Well, thank you, Sarah. We appreciate it. Again, we're expecting the ponies to swim here soon, about 10:15. Keeping an eye on the tide. Water still seems to be moving a little bit. Back to you guys.
And we're hearing that the ponies are starting to move a little bit, and we're getting ready to head to Chopper 16. That's where we find WBOC's Bill Mitch right now. Bill, are you seeing that movement? There it is.
There it is. Actually, Maxine was talking. It was kind of a cool sight. I was watching, obviously taking a look at the horses moving. You see in the front, the saltwater cowboys are leading these horses. They're going to be going, I guess, through this marshy area, kind of over to the spot where they'll be obviously making their swim. But as Max, larger boats here.
All right, our apologies as we're dealing with some technical issues, a lot of cell phone issues down there because of so many cell phones, and then with Chopper 16, the signal tends to drop out a little bit there. We're back to a live picture here. Bill Mitch, you with us again?
Yeah, Steve, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Wonderful. Sorry about that.
That's
It has
okay.
some connection issues, as you were mentioning, but it's a cool view. So what I was saying, we can obviously the horses moving down.
Go.
They're going through this shallow water area. They'll be making their way through. And from our view from Chopper 16, obviously we can see how shallow this water is as they move down through this little marshy area down for where all those boats are. That's when it gets a little deeper, and they'll be really making that swim. But you can kind of see those saltwater cowboys getting them in formation so they can start to make that swim. But as I was saying before we lost the signal, I apologize there. It appeared one of the fire department boats in the channel, obviously a little further down from where these ponies are, in the water. And once he...
All right, we're losing you again, Bill, but we'll get it back in just a second. We have to sort of reconnect with the helicopter, and as that happens, you can see they're getting lined up. Let's check in with WBOC's Maxine Bensel.
Steve, we're hearing about 18 to 20 minutes now. As Bill just said, they're on the move, so this is good news for all the people that are out here waiting. But it isn't all just about the swim. Once they finish the swim, which only takes them about 9 to 10 minutes, they're going to take a 45-minute rest over here in this area where they'll finish to the left of me around all these people. And then they're going to be paraded down Main Street to the carnival grounds where the auction will happen. As I think I heard Lisa mention earlier, the very first foal to come across will be crowned King or Queen Neptune. And they're selling tickets here, and that one will be raffled off. So one lucky winner is going to go home with a pony. Now, the auction starts tomorrow morning. That starts at 8 o'clock. You're going to want to get there early so you can get a good spot and keep an eye on the ponies. And you don't need to register. So basically, if you raise your hand, you're bidding on a pony. And the auction is held for multiple reasons. One is to slim the herd of the ponies here in Chincoteague, as well as to raise money for the volunteer fire company. And it also goes towards veterinary care for the horses, who I believe are checked out about 3 times a year. So they're very well taken care of. And like I said, it just brings so many people here to this town, so it's a great economic impact for them. We'll check back in here. Like I said, the ponies are moving, so we should see them swimming. It sounds like they're making some announcements over the boat, so we should know more soon. We're going to go back up to Bill Mitch in Chopper 16.
Hey, Max, we're following along the horses as they make their way down this marshy area. Hopefully we can keep this signal. As we were talking about these cell phone signals, it's tough to keep it in sometimes, but we're following them down. All the horses kind of are in formation. You can see the saltwater cowboys keeping them in formation there. You got some of them in front kind of leading them down towards the path where they're going to be eventually making the swim, and obviously saltwater cowboys on either side of the horses and behind of them. Don't obviously want any of them getting away. And as we're zoomed in pretty tight, I know we're trying to stay in on those horses, and I'm just kind of tell you what I'm looking at. As you see the water just above the horses on the northern side of them, there's a shallow water area and then kind of a sandbar on the other side. The people have gotten out of their boats on the sandbar and have made their way into those shallow water. It's probably a wonderful picture that they're getting to take. If you zoom out just a little bit, Phil, and pan up just a little bit, you'll be able to see some. There they are. The people have gotten out of their boats, taking some pictures of the horses. Obviously, they have a pretty cool spot prior to the swim. It might be a little bit tougher for them to see anything cool while they're swimming, but they have a great shot now. And some of the boats, the charter boats or personal boats, are actually following the horses along on the other side of the sandbar. Let's zoom back in so we can see some of those horses. So we obviously get you the best shot possible. Obviously up here in Chopper 16, it's tough to beat this, but from where we're looking, you can kind of see, I'm looking down to my right, and I can see Memorial Park. Obviously, you're taking a look at the horses, and we'll stay on this shot, but I can almost see people in Memorial Park kind of getting closer together. You can see people pulling out their cameras. There's a lot of excitement right now because we know we're getting closer to the swim. So we're going to stay on this shot and send it back to you guys, but obviously this is our best view for the rest of the morning. Guys?
Absolutely, Bill. As I've said this many a time, whether it's a rocket launch from Wallops or the pony swim, Bill Mitch always ends up with the best seat in the house.
He does. And you know, those ponies are very well cared for, even though they live in the wild. Dr. Drew Humphreys is one of their veterinarians and says safety is the #1 priority.
The stress is the biggest thing. I mean, we take them from an environment which they don't have really much interaction with humans until we get them all together, and then they're exposed to all the crowds, and then not only in being a more confined space with the rest of the herds. So it's just mainly stress.
And our live streaming and broadcast coverage of the 91st Annual Chincoteague Pony Swim is brought to you by your friends at the Preston Automotive Group. Now, we have some Facebook comments coming from people all over the country. It's pretty interesting to see, and I know some people are saying it's coming in and out. And we also have a YouTube link if you want to go to that. It's a live link, and of course, it's on our Facebook page, so you can look there if you want to see that. And of course, we welcome all the people who are watching on WBOC Classics right now. You see the ponies, they are going into the water right now. What a wonderful sight coming from Chopper 16. This is live going on in Chincoteague.
Yeah, this is 91st Annual Pony Swim getting underway right now. And let's check back in with Bill Mitch. Again, this helicopter is pretty far away from our tower, so that signal is going to pop in and out. There's a live picture on the ground from the other side of the channel. From our satellite truck down there, and tens of thousands of people. You see, we got people in kayaks. What a great way to watch the pony swim from a kayak.
Yeah.
There we go. Chopper 16 back up, and we are now getting underway. This swim happening again at slack tide, where there is virtually no current, right between high tide and low tide, making it as easy as possible for these ponies. Should take them about 9-10 minutes to make this swim across the channel.
And I know there was some concern about weather, and some people talking about, you know, what do you do if it rains? If it rains, it's not a, big deal. They're getting wet anyway, but of course there's always a threat of thunderstorms. And if that were the case, they would have to wait for the next slack tide. But fortunately, that is not the case. We have the ponies in the water right now. Let's head over to Bill Mitch. Bill, can you hear me?
You guys can hear me okay?
Yeah, Chopper 16 and Bill
Wonderful.
Mitch.
Steve, as you mentioned a second ago, it's not my fault I always have the coolest views. They just kind of give me those things. But this view right now is pretty fantastic, as you mentioned. What we're watching is as they make their way through this marshy area, you can see a couple of the ponies try to stray away from the herd, and you see those saltwater cowboys catch up to them very quickly and kind of get them back in the herd. I've seen 1 or 2 ponies kind of skirt off to the left, and one little guy was going the wrong way. But the saltwater cowboys seem to kind of be keeping them in line down there. We're getting closer to where it appears to be hopping back up onto that sandbar and eventually making the swim. Obviously, as you can see, they're walking pretty well right now because that water appears to be pretty. But the herd right now, I know Phil's zooming in. Behind them in the shallow water, there's some people in kayaks trying to follow up the rear and kind of get a cool view. So there's really people doing anything and everything to try to get the best. Now, the most
All right, Bill, thanks. We'll check back with you in a second. We've got Maxine Bensel there on the ground. Hey, Maxine.
Hey, Steve, I am down here on the ground, and you're right. Bill Mitch does always get the best seat in the house, but we're having fun down here as well. Joining me now is Mr. Saltzvis. He helps out with the ponies every year. They're in the water now, so what do you think?
Yeah, they'll be coming swimming across here in about 4 minutes.
Okay.
And if you want to watch the pony swim, you have to be out here at 4 o'clock in the morning and get a best view, so you could get in the front line.
That's right, and I've been out here since 4, so we are going to get a good view, and there's a lot of people out here. Tell me what you've been doing this week to help out with the ponies.
I was helping riding Monday morning, coming in from the walk along the beach walk, yes.
Okay, and how was that?
That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that. That was my first year I did that. That was a lot of fun.
What makes you come down here and help? You're not from the area. You just love the ponies?
Yeah, I just love the ponies. We like to come down and meet the friends down here and meet the cowboys.
It's a great group of guys, and they take great care of the ponies for this one-of-a-kind event. We're just waiting now. I can sort of see their little heads and their little ears popping up and moving across the water there from where I am. So they're definitely heading into the water. It's about 10:15, so right on time. Doesn't look like the water's moving, so everything should go off without a hitch here in just the next few minutes. As you can see now, I believe lots of boats still in the water on the kayaks. As Steve said, that's a great seat to be as well, and some jet skiers, and like we just heard, they have been out here for a long time, so they got to be very, very hot.
Hey, Maxine, can you see see the ponies?
I can see like the tops of their heads moving
Okay.
from where I am, but not much other than that. But we are starting to get some cheers here now, so I can start to see them. They are moving. Here they come.
Whoa, some of them a little more
Yep,
anxious
here they
than
come.
others.
And there we go. They're in the water.
All right.
Yeah, they looked very anxious. They're probably hot.
Ready to swim, and
There
here we
they
go.
Yep, here they come. Okay.
Okay.
See, we got to be keeping an eye out for that first foal that comes across. Of course, that'll be crowned King or Queen Neptune. That'll be the winner. We still got a few.
Right, there we go. Nice shot there. We've got one from the boat. Again, this is from what we call a TVU camera. It's using cell phone signals to feed back this video. And as you can imagine, with tens of thousands of people down there on a lot of cell phones, so it's. But we'll look at that shot right there, and that's
that is
something that
beautiful. That
they
just gives
make
me
their way
chills.
across.
Yeah. And it's not a very long swim, and you know, some people ask about the ponies and their well-being as they're making the swim, but they are constantly being monitored by veterinarians, so they are safe, and they look like they're enjoying it, actually.
I would think that they're ready to get ashore.
Yeah.
It's really hot, so it's probably nice to cool off.
Exactly.
Yeah, Maxine, you guys are baking down there, I imagine. Pretty hot.
Oh, we're baking. We're baking, all right. I can see, you know.
I'm sorry, Maxine. I was just saying, are the horse flies, are they bad today?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you very clearly. Are they what?
No, I was just asking about the horse flies. I know sometimes the people down there don't expect them.
The horse flies.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of horse flies, but definitely a lot of mosquitoes. They were actually worse this morning, and they seem to not be that bad right now. It's mostly just the heat that seems to be bothering everybody. But now that the ponies are in the water, everybody's forgotten about that. It's really great, actually, to see the looks on everybody's faces here and see how much they're enjoying it. I've seen it many, many times because I grew up vacationing here in Chincoteague, but this is the best view that I have ever had. So this is actually really cool for me as well to see it.
Right, and what?
And it looks like they're definitely all in the water now.
Yeah, and you can't see this, Maxine, but we have got this spectacular picture from a boat right alongside as these ponies are making their way across the channel. An unprecedented shot here, and
it's live.
Yeah, and it's
oh, that's wonderful.
just about over these.
You can really hear them neighing and making some noise from where I am.
You can hear the
and it
cheers.
looks like they're about halfway through.
And you can hear the saltwater cowboys. They're out there doing their job from the boats.
Right, and at this point, you know, it's follow the leader.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. If you're not looking at your computer or your television right now, you need to be looking at this shot right here. This is live. This is going on in Chincoteague, the annual pony swim, the 91st annual pony swim. We've never had a shot like that before.
All right, they're getting close. The people over here are getting in position to help get them in here.
Right, so now you got to guide them to shore, where they will they'll take a rest for about 45 minutes, and then, Maxine, we've got the parade through downtown, correct?
That's right. Then they'll parade down Main Street and be taken to the carnival grounds for the auction tomorrow morning. People starting to clap and cheer. I don't know if you can hear it at all here.
Right.
Getting really excited because this is about as close as they're going to get to the ponies while they're here. I mean,
Right, they got to
they
grab.
are right up on land here.
They got to grab the king and
The
queen
king and
of,
the queen.
of Neptune.
Yep. Oh, they're beautiful.
Aren't they, though?
I have never seen them this close. There we go.
And love hearing
they
those
come.
saltwater cowboys in the background.
Yeah.
And as Steve said, they are going to rest for about 45 minutes before they do that parade. And then, of course, the auction is tomorrow where the ponies are bid on. That's a huge event for the fire department, as we've mentioned.
Right, big money maker. Total sales, 169,000 in sales last year. The highest bid, a record set last year, $25,000 for a pony.
And I want to remind you, our live streaming and broadcast coverage of the 91st Annual Chincoteague Pony Swim is brought to you by your friends at the Preston Automotive Group. And that's a beautiful shot there. Everyone have their cameras and their cell phones in the air trying to get a shot of these ponies. Absolutely beautiful. And I talked to Road Terry a couple weeks ago, and he was talking about another thing that is wonderful to see is the look on the children's faces, especially when they bring the ponies in for auction. As they're walking down, they have a little path that they walk down before they're auctioned. He says, you just look at the kids' faces and they get so excited. A lot of them saving up their money for years to bid on a pony.
Absolutely.
For those of you who are on our Facebook
hear me?
page, we've got a YouTube link. Yes, Bill Mitch, we can hear you.
Oh, sorry about that. I didn't mean to interrupt you there, Steve. I know we were losing signal. We didn't get to talk a whole lot during the swim, but what an unbelievable view. It appears from my vantage point, the last pony has just come ashore. You can see some of the saltwater cowboys from where we are, just trying to make sure they're all up on the shore there. It appears they're all up on there. You can see the hundreds of people down where Maxine is taking their pictures out. I can see the flash bulbs on some of the cameras from up here in Chopper City.
Yeah, Bill, thank you. Again, Chincoteague's a long way from our tower, and that helicopter shot can sometimes slip in and out as we work to get that back. There's a shot from the ground from our satellite truck there.
But think about how far we've come since you and I first started covering this years ago.
Right.
We never could get it live, and now we're to
Right.
a point where we can do it live on the internet.
Yeah, this is an historic first for WBOC, and boy, what a neat shot! And look at all of those people jammed up against that fence, trying to get a glimpse. They have waited for hours in the hot sun, and yep, as Maxine mentioned, there have been mosquitoes, and it is a long morning for people that are that get out there to Chincoteague. We heard from the gentleman from Waldorf, Maryland. They stayed in Selbyville last night. They got up at 5 a.m. and made the trip down to Chincoteague from there. And
Can they hear me?
this is why, for this moment, and the fun continues.
So we just got a question from a viewer. I'm sorry, Steve, if I cut you off there.
That's okay. It's all good.
It sounds like we just got a question from a viewer on YouTube asking if the horses looked panicked, and from what I can see, they don't. They look happy to be out of the water, but I can see some with some grass in their mouth right now, so they look a little hungry. It looks like they're all grazing and having a little snack.
I saw a lot of perked up ears.
Thank you, Christine Watson, for that question. Yes, there's a lot of perked up ears. They look just fine, and it looks like they all made it across safely in about 10 minutes. And the people are really starting to disperse now, so they've seen what they need to see, and they're ready to get out of the heat and probably go in the air conditioning for the day. I would say.
To get their,
I don't blame them.
Or to get their spot in town along the path as we have the parade. That'll happen.
That's right, for the parade down Main Street.
In about 40 minutes, so that may be part of what's going on. So then we have the parade.
I don't know if you can see them. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry
okay.
if I keep cutting you off.
No worries. I know we're dealing with a
There's
delay. It's all good.
Taylor, can you get on that little one that's running around there? The little foal? I mean, they're whipping their tails around. They're eating. They seem very happy. And of course, like we've said, they'll all be auctioned off tomorrow. Last year's, I think, 61 ponies were sold, so not all of them will be auctioned off, but that's why this entire swim happens, is for the auction to raise money for the Chincoteague Volunteer Fire Company.
And you know, this event is obviously unlike anything else you've ever seen. And really, the way we're watching it today is like anything else we've ever seen.
All right, saltwater cowboy Alex Tucker tells us it's no easy task to get these 150 ponies to start swimming and to keep swimming.
It's different all in entirety. People herd animals all over the world, but trying to herd something into the water that doesn't want to be there is a whole nother ball game. There's so many safety issues that, we have to keep an eye on. That's why we keep our vet wherever he went to. We keep him on hand whenever we're doing anything over here.
And that, of course, a long-time saltwater cowboy. And by the way, the saltwater cowboys they come from all over Delmarva. They're not just from the Chincoteague area, and they volunteer year after year to be part of this historic event. And they do a great job. I mean, really, if you think about it, herding up all of those ponies, getting them to the water. I mean, they're not necessarily, want to go into the water, but they do. And I think they like the cool water. And then coming up on shore to this big crowd, they're not used to that, obviously. They're used to grazing out on the island. So good job.
Oh, yeah.
Hats off to the saltwater
Absolutely.
cowboys.
And what a fun job. I'd love to do that.
I
think, you put your GoPro on, maybe in 5 or 10 years we'll be streaming from our GoPro and
that would be good.
I would love to do that.
I would like to see that as well. We've come along so far to this point, so why not?
The pony swim aspect is complete, as we've said. The parade will get started in probably about 40 minutes. And then we have the auction tomorrow. Among the reasons why we do all this is they control the herd, keeping it at about 150 ponies on Assateague, and they have to thin the herd. And again, it's to also raise money for the Chincoteague Volunteer Fire Company. How these ponies got here, the theory is that there was a Spanish galleon that went down off the coast of Assateague in 1750, and that ship was carrying some of these ponies, and that they managed to swim to shore and to survive and thrive. The conditions on Assateague are not very good. There's not a lot of food, and these horses have adapted and for that long, since 1750, have done very well on Assateague.
They sure have. They sure have. And of course, our teams are going to stay there in Chincoteague. We've got the parade going on later on today, so we're going to have full coverage on WBOC News, our broadcast this evening as well.
Thanks for joining us for this historic event, streaming on WBOC's Facebook page, and also for watching on WBOC Classics. We'll have much more of the pony swim and the events surrounding it coming up later on today.